Out of the 640,000 pounds of raw milk that we process here a day, we reclaim anywhere between 50 and 60,000 gallons of fresh water every day. That 50 or 60,000 gallons of fresh water that we reclaim from the evaporative process, it's essentially the water that was in the milk that we're extracting from the milk. And that's purified, filtered, and is reusable in the processing plant itself after it's gone through those purification and filtration processes, or we have the option of sending it directly to the drain where we can use it as irrigation, supplemental irrigation water for our crops. But the most desirable place for us to put it is as drinking water for our cows. At this facility in particular, we were able to add an additional 500 head of milking cows, a modern day food grade processing facility, approximately 25 additional staff members, and a variety of additional young stock, and actually decrease the amount of water that we withdraw from our well. So what you're seeing here is the evaporative condensing plant. This big beast here is the actual evaporator itself, and as I mentioned before, it's a 3-stage falling film evaporator. We've got enough tank storage for basically 100,000 gallons of raw milk, which we'll store at approximately 36 degrees Fahrenheit. When we're ready for that milk, it'll flow through the first chamber of the evaporator, get heated up. From that point, flow into the cone-shaped device you see there, right on the other side of that technician. That's our separator. That separates the cream from the skim portion. The cream portion flows into the array of pipes you see clear on the back wall. That's actually our cream HTST, and that's what actually physically pasteurizes the cream. The skim portion flows back into the evap, where it's condensed down to 35% total solids, pasteurized, and again, then it's chilled and dumped into one of 4 12,000 gallon product tanks. Technically 2 are for cream and 2 are for condensed skim, although we can mix match what we need. We're keeping the water that's pulled from a Kansas ground or a Kansas well, and we're keeping it in the state of Kansas. By doing that, we reduce the trucking needs on the finished goods by about 75%. So obviously we use a tremendous amount less energy through diesel fuel, more labor efficient, less wear and tear on roads and bridges. And the very unique thing about this process is because we're directly tied to the farm and then directly tied to the processor, it allows for incredibly fresh product to arrive at the doorstep of Dan and Yogurt, and ultimately very fresh product to arrive on the store shelf and in the consumer's refrigerator. So there are times where we can harvest milk from a cow, process it, and have it at Dan's doorstep in 24 hours or less. So it's incredibly fresh. And prior to that, there are times where on this dairy in particular, where we're tied directly to the plant, we can harvest milk from the cow and have it pasteurized within an hour. This entire room is controlled via this control lab. State certified control lab. We run all of our own milk samples for protein, solids, fat content, that sort of thing. Within that room, we also have a small microbiology room where we do all of our own plating and milk culturing. So the very unique thing about this arrangement is that before the milk arrives at the Dallas-Fort Worth plant to be processed and turned into yogurt, they know all the specifications on that load. Whereas historically, they would receive a load, put it into production, run all their samples on it, and then be able to modify. Now, before it hits their plant, they know if their solids content is changing, if their protein content is changing, and they can run a much more efficient line of production. So because we're single source and the products coming off of our farms are very consistent, we can ultimately create an incredibly consistent product going to them.